Greetings, That Kind of Nerd podcast listeners. Listen, before we start the show, I just wanted to take the quick second and just say thank you so much for really helping us out in 2015 and starting this podcast. It was amazing to see the responses coming from you, and I know we've got a lot of new listeners, so welcome aboard. Welcome to the craziness that is the three of us talking some nerdy stuff. So I wanted to take the opportunity, and a lot of you new people are probably tired of hearing it, but it definitely is something that we need to say. We want to hear your voice on the show. We want to hear from you about what we can do to make this better, what topics you like, what topics you don't like. We want to hear it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So a lot of different ways to do that. You can always get at us at Twitter at ThatKindOfNerd. Facebook is facebook.com/ThatKindOfNerd. We, of course, have the website. Surprise, surprise, it's ThatKindOfNerd.com. But, of course, the coolest way I think that you can actually go ahead and have your voice on the show is calling our Google Voice number. And that is 484-373-4119. That gets your voice on with us, and we'll play it on the air. So we definitely want to say thank you to everyone who's done that so far, and let's just start the show. So, first off, Happy New Year to you guys. Welcome to 2016.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
All righty.
Happy New
Let's
Year.
get this started.
We took the week off because, Josh, you were crunching the numbers for the cat-to-mail ratio. I just got to know, what did they say? What were the numbers?
It stayed very low.
Very low?
Very low.
Josh
Quite
spent
low.
his New Year's. I get a knock at the door, and he's got like an abacus and calculator. He's like, I'm here to calculate
I had
shit.
one of those green visors and like a
like one of those little like
like an old timey lamp and a big metal desk. I just set up shop.
All right, listen, see, you got two cats here, see? And there's two of you, see?
I set up shop in the in the east wing of Brian's palatial estate with my green visor and a pencil in my ear and a little ticker tape. It was pretty great.
East Wing would be the kitchen, I believe.
I was just off the annex of the kitchen.
Did you meet his personal chef? He is
Guy
delightful.
DeFrancois is delightful.
Just a ray of sunshine.
He's the best, but I'll tell you what, that asshole that does the laundry,
Yes. Chet?
I don't like him at all.
Nope. I don't know why Brian keeps him.
You should get like an Agador Spartacus. You should get like a Guatemalan, like Hank Azaria as a Guatemalan houseboy. That'd be way better than Chet standing around doing laundry, looking all surly like Mr. Filch.
Like he's got something better to do with his life.
Yeah.
He should be lucky that Brian is employing him. Anyway. So let's talk about things that are great. And I want to get into this. Brian put together a list with the entire That Kind of Nerd team of the top movies, the best movies of 2015. Now, the criteria of this was more than just like, hey, it's got to be nerdy. The entire team had to agree on it. They had to have a good critics review. It had about a 70% when it comes to critics. And then it had to have some box office numbers to go with it. So it actually had to back it up when it comes to making money. Some of these on here I'm a big fan of, and some of them I just had to give on the merit.
So like Ant-Man didn't make it.
No, Ant-Man did make it.
Ant-Man made it.
Sorry, friend.
But it didn't have box office numbers to back it up.
It absolutely, compared to all sorts of other
CJ,
movies.
it missed one of your criteria.
Listen, it's compared to some of the other movies that didn't make this list.
And I specifically, when we were doing the polling as a group, I specifically abstained from objecting to Ant-Man so that I could do it right now.
It's on there. I reject your rejection. I reject your version of reality and assume my own.
I reject your rejection.
Thank you.
Good.
It has been
All right.
rejected.
So
Ant-Man stays.
First thing first, for anyone who's going to go and check out the article, because the article is on the website, don't freak out. They're not in listing of what we thought was number one. This is done in release time. Some people saw the initial one and said, Star Wars is at the bottom. How could you do that? No, it's chronological order. So I wanted to kind of hit some of the highlights. I mean, do we want to read them all?
Was it Kenny from 30 Rock that had that reaction? Because that's the voice you just did.
Oh my God.
Star Wars is at the bottom.
No. We don't have to read them all. I think we call out some highlights. The reason they're not in order of best to worst is because some folks, would rank them completely different, especially even amongst the three of us. So I put them in release order.
And Thrillist, can you please take note? We didn't put numbers, so we didn't skip any. I just
I
wanna
omitted
say-
the 5 anyway.
There's no.
I put a 5 in and then I took it out.
I actually put the 5 in and I made it white font so that it's there, but you can't
There.
see it.
You gotta control A and get it all. All right. So let's talk about let's talk about some of the really good ones, the ones that I think go on there without question. And then I've got I really have one on here that I'm still scratching my head at. Love American Sniper. I think that was a great call for that movie. The same thing with Ex Machina and the Avengers and Mad Max. Jurassic World, I think fantastic contender. Ant-Man is on there, Josh, just to get you angry. Straight Outta Compton was phenomenal. The Martian, Bridge of Spies. I mean, some amazing movies on here. So here are the ones that I had questions about, and I said yes because the team kind of outdid me. Cinderella, Pitch Perfect 2 are on this list of amazing movies, and I just need someone to explain to me how they got the box office numbers.
Listen. This is a list of some of the greats of 2015, not CJ's top 10, not non-fairy tale, non-Rebel Wilson movies. Pitch Perfect did really well at the box office. It has a really good user reviews and response. As much as you and I were like, not as good as the original, it had to be put on here. It was pretty big.
I wasn't
Same thing with
kind to it in
Cinderella.
our own review, so I was very surprised to see it. But I understand it. I just
Yeah, well, as long as you understand, because I rate these things for you, CJ.
I appreciate that so much.
At the end of the day, I go, what would CJ do? And then I do the opposite.
I did specifically start a website for that agenda, only just to have it turned around on me. Very upset about that. So, with the list of movies that are on here, I really would like to know your top 2 movies from this list on last year's performance. What are your
Disclaimer. Let's exclude Star Wars.
Let's
'cause
exclude
I think
Star Wars.
We all know
Yeah.
Star Wars is top 1.
No Star Wars, no Marvel.
I'm okay because those are, believe it or not, those are not number 2 and 3 for me.
Same thing. Yeah, those are also not. So, Josh, I'd like to start. Ooh, sorry. Apparently, my desk decided to attack
Stop
me.
breaking shit, CJ.
So I'm so upset about Cinderella. Josh, let's start with you. What are your top 2 movies from 2015?
Oh, it's a tough call, but I'm going to say Jurassic World and Kingsman.
Okay.
Good call. I like.
Okay. Can you
agree
give me
with
some
both of those.
thought behind the process there?
Well, Jurassic World I thought was probably one of the best made movies in the past few years. It didn't seem hokey or campy in any way. I thought they did a great job writing the characters. I thought it made sense and paid homage to the first trilogy of movies while sort of also making fun of them a little bit, which was nice. I thought Chris Pratt was outstanding. And then Kingsman, I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. And I didn't see it in the theater. I didn't see it until it hit iTunes. And the day that I bought it, I watched it twice. Like I watched it and then I watched it again because I thought it was that awesome. And Kingsman is one of those. I put it up there with the Mission Impossible. I hope they make a franchise out of it. I think it's.
Well, you will
what's
be happy
happening?
to know. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Let's just
Brian,
ignore it.
he's got some sort of floppy giant rubber contraption that's just bouncing around on his
Oh,
desk.
that just sounds gross.
My
That's what I'm
Oscar
saying.
Wilde action figure just fell down on me.
Whoa! Oh God. Anyway, Josh, you'll be happy to know they just announced sequel is confirmed for the Kingsman for 2017
with Eggsy in it.
with Eggsy
Who's
2017.
also going to be Eddie the Eagle. Like, have you seen this?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That comes out in 2016, which is a
It
little,
comes out shortly.
Yeah.
It comes out like
February.
April 1st. Does it February?
I thought it was
April.
February. I don't know. I have to look
You
into
might be
it.
right.
Anywho,
So, Brian,
Go
what
ahead.
about you? What was your top 2 movies of 2015?
top 2. I'm gonna have to go with Creed and Mad Max. Believe it or not. And then in no particular order. I loved both of those films. I know CJ seen Creed. Josh, you didn't see Creed yet, did you?
No.
See it.
It's amazing.
I'm going to.
Out of all the shit that you guys gave me for Rocky movies and not seeing them and catching up with them, this is
Christian
a great.
Christian can't see Creed.
Right. Oh no.
Right. So
See,
it
he
wasn't
has an
like
excuse.
wasn't like the other Rocky movies where I could be like, come on, dude, we'll go see. It's not like that. So
Right.
I have to like pick my spots.
Creed was amazing. And just like every other Rocky movie, very inspirational and motivational. And I took my dad to go see it, and it was such an enjoyable time. And performances were out of this world. Sylvester Stallone did an amazing job. So I definitely would say that. And Mad Max was another one of those ones that I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. And it was just awesome. Awesome practical use of effects, just great action, solid performances. And another one that like it's up there because I wasn't expecting how much I enjoyed this movie.
The guy who plays what's his name? Knox?
Yeah, Nux.
Nux? Nux.
What the heck is his name?
Yeah, he's in everything.
Yeah,
Right,
he's Beast in
he's-
First
right.
Class.
I thought he positively stole the show.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And the great thing about that movie is the freaking main character is not the character you like the most throughout most of it.
Right.
And his name is Nicholas Holt for record's
Nicholas
sake.
Hoult. Right. Okay, good.
So yeah, those were my top two.
Mad Max very nearly made my top two, and it's just edged out by Jurassic World adventure wise.
Yeah, I love Jurassic World too. That would have been number 3/4 since we're excluding Star Wars.
So for me, my number 2 movie is Ex Machina, and I tried to avoid this movie with all my might, just because so many people were talking about it, and the way that people were trying to explain it really did a huge injustice to it. So I put it off just thinking it would be a crappy movie, and holy crap, is it so good. It's such a small cast, a very intimate.
It's like a
setting
3-man
for it.
show.
It's a 3-man
right?
show. It's just 3 characters really within it. This set is just gorgeous too. So I mean, like the world that they put you in, you put yourself in as the main character, going, "What would I do?" But then you also start questioning yourself. It's great. It plays mind games with you to the very end. The ending is just great, and it makes you want more. So it's definitely something that if you passed it up, you should go ahead and give it a second look.
While you were watching Ex Machina, were you distracted at all by the typewriters of all the other viewers around you reviewing it?
No, not so much. But the steam
Did their scarves get in the way of you watching the movie?
No, but the
or-
steampunk vapes, that's what really just took it over the top. I couldn't deal
I
with
would
it too
imagine
much.
it would get very distracting with people saying, I liked the stuff before it was cool.
Oh, dude, I tell you why I avoided that movie, CJ, is every time I saw you're walking through the theater and there's the poster of it.
Yeah.
There's always like 3 dudes in Waldo shirts with giant beards standing in front of it going, I can't wait till this comes out, bro.
But hold on, but before you really get the impression it's this hipster mania thing, it really is a phenomenal film. I mean, technology and everything that we love to talk about, I mean, it's in there. Everything that you love about movies is in this movie, and it's amazing. So my number 1 though for the year was American Sniper.
That was a great movie.
It was one of the first movies that came out of the year that made a big impression, and I think we kind of forgot about what an impact it had. The story is just. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. The bravery of everybody that this man worked with, dealt with, fought with, the American sacrifice that happened was amazing. But the part about the movie is it keeps you in suspense the entire time. You hardly catch your breath, and when you do, you fear that the next moment is going to be ripped from you. And it's got a real nice filter of the world of showing it as it is, and not trying to put a Hollywood filter over it and trying to make it seem like everything's okay. The ending, I mean, brought me to tears. It's extremely moving, and Bradley Cooper disappeared in the role and really just took it on. And it's
He did an amazing job.
I mean,
He really
phenomenal
did.
acting, and I'm going to be very upset if he gets snuffed from anything about Best Actor, because he really put his heart and soul into the work. And
Also, we'll be
it's
upset
great.
if he's snubbed.
Yeah, that's true.
but
Snuffed
also,
would also be a terrible
We don't
thing.
want to see him snuffed,
No.
but
Snubbed would
we will be equally upset if he's snubbed.
Yeah. Thank you. Was there a movie that you wish you would have seen last year? One you're like, I totally meant to see that, and I'm kicking myself for not watching it already.
Black Mass.
Oh, that was a great movie, Josh. You missed out.
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, and I have to give an honorable mention because I don't think I'd ever put this movie in my top 2. But if I didn't mention how unbelievably good Inside Out was,
Yeah.
I think I'd be foolish. That was a fantastic movie. I've watched that movie more than I've watched any other that came out this year because my kids love it. Although they watch Ant-Man twice a day now. I don't know why. But Inside Out, honorable mention for me.
Go ahead, Brian.
Go ahead. No, I in terms of things I wish I saw a lot of the stuff. I kind of wish I made time to see Sicario. That's the only movie that's really on this list that I didn't get a chance to see. I was like,
Did you see
Man.
Straight Outta Compton?
me?
Yes, you.
No.
After we talked about it and how you should watch
That's
it.
that's not a Brian goes to the movies type of movie. That's
I
a
didn't
Brian
see it yet either.
Brian
Even
rents
like
it at
iTunes
home.
wait, hold on. You didn't see it?
No, I never got around to it.
How am I the only one of us who saw Straight Outta Compton?
I don't know.
Okay.
Did you see it you saw it in the theater or like at the drive-in?
Me?
Yeah, you're the only one
I
who's
s-
seen it.
I saw it at the drive-in.
Oh, okay, all right.
It was great. The movie on my list that I really wish I would have seen, and a lot of people are gonna yell at me because I still haven't seen it, is Mad Max Fury Road.
How have you not seen that movie?
I haven't made the time or the effort to do it. I've really been meaning to, but I haven't.
Yes, but you'll see Ex Machina with your vintage typewriter.
Right.
Okay, Ex Machina was at home and on demand. Okay, it was
Mad
one of
Max
those
can be
things
home
where I was
and
like,
on demand.
I've gotta
It's
see
been
it.
out on
Did the
DVD for
whole
months.
theater smell of mustache wax?
Stop putting down this movie. It's a great movie. I'm not saying I saw it first and holy gosh, what a great thing.
Mustache wax and patchouli. The whole theater.
Just go see Ex Machina.
Smell the rich mahogany.
Yeah, they have many leather-bound books.
Oh man. Is there anything on this list that you're upset about besides Ant-Man, Josh? Is there anything on this list that you just can't understand?
Yeah, I'm not sure why Steve Jobs is on here.
Really?
I know it was all the hype, but honestly, that thing was out of the theater
Soon,
very quickly.
really quick. Actually, that was my biggest disappointment of the year, which was the next I was going to get to, so we might as well hit that now. Steve Jobs was the movie that let me down the most. And
Aw.
I think we've talked about. Oh, I know, right? I was let
That
down,
must
Aaron.
hurt. Do you have
Aaron
to give
Sorkin?
away one of your iPhones for saying that?
I did actually. I gave away my iPhone 4 to my niece.
No. I'm like, do you have to turn it back over to Apple for saying that comment?
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense.
And a pound of flesh. They were really specific.
Oh, I thought they would just go right for the firstborn. So you lucked out.
No, they want another. They want future Apple users. They just want to take something off of me.
Oh, okay.
No, it was and you know I love Aaron Sorkin. And I think I've said this a million times too. I've read several biographies. I mean of Steve Jobs, and this movie really let me down. I wasn't a big fan of it, and there's better options out there if you want to know more about Steve Jobs than this movie. It was pretty bad. Anybody else have like a letdown, a movie that they wish was so much better than it was from last year?
No. If I devote the time to go see the movie, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm a lot of the same. I pretty much avoided everything that I thought was going to be bad. I avoided Pitch Perfect. I avoided as much build up as there was. I did avoid Steve Jobs. I think the like I want to see The Martian, but I just don't at all.
Just read the book. Honestly, the book is so much.
Oh yeah. I'm not going to invest 2 hours in the movie, but the fucking book.
Oh my God! I see the mustache and beard growing.
No, first
you're
off,
talking right now.
that's not a hipster thing.
Find a first
The book
edition and
just has-
turn the
okay.
pages ever
Josh,
so gently.
listen, all you have to do is go to audibletrial.com/thatkindofnerd, get your free audiobook and make it The Martian and listen to it on your drives while you're in the car. The
Nope.
book will make you laugh so much because it has so much great humor in it.
Nope.
audibletrial.com/Jack and Nerd. You're welcome. Do it now. Do it. Do it. Pause it. Pause it. Do it. You won't. Do it.
You
Go
don't-
ahead. Do
You
it.
don't have to pause it. If you're on your phone, you can just hit the home button and still listen to us. Just saying. You don't have to listen to the book. You can put the book on after you listen to us. God, CJ, what's wrong with you?
Just a lot of things, as I've covered many, many times. So let's move on to the future. So let's talk about January movies of 2016. Let's talk about what we're going to be seeing. So Brian again has done a wonderful job, as he does every month, of putting together the movies and trailers that are coming out for this month. So please go to thatkindofnerd.com and check it out. Brian, take it away. Let's talk about what's coming down the pipe in January.
Well, let's first start off by saying I'm just wonderful in general, so everything I do is wonderful.
And you're the most modest person I know, aren't you?
I really
No,
really
I am the most modest person.
Oh, that's right. That's very true. Sorry, Josh.
All right, so let's move down the list here. So we are recording today on Friday, January 8th. So these two movies are already out. The first one being The Revenant, which we talked about in December movies because it got a limited release Christmas Day, but now it's nationwide.
Pass.
So we don't need to spend time on that.
Yep.
Speaking of movies that Josh will pass on, The Forest, which is a psychological horror thriller movie starring Natalie Dormer.
I want to like this movie, but I'll never see it.
I will not see it in theaters. I will most likely rent this of some kind of nature.
The topic seems so interesting, but I just don't care. Is that wrong of me?
I mean, it depends on what you don't care about. It's about a haunted forest where people commit suicide all the time.
Oh, this is
The haunted forest in Japan.
This isn't the Terrence Malick movie, right?
No, this is Natalie Dormer goes to this forest at the base of Mount Fuji looking for her twin sister. And there's all sorts of souls and ghosts and stuff that are haunting her.
So this is by the way, this is a real forest. Like, people actually do go into this forest to kill themselves.
Yes,
in Japan.
it does exist IRL.
So she's like drawn to this because her sister goes missing within it. They're like, stay on the path. She goes off the path and shit.
For those of you who don't speak WoW, IRL
Right.
means in real life.
TIL, there's a forest where people go to kill themselves.
Yes, TIL. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think we need to spend too much more time on this movie. I'm not a huge horror movie buff, so I don't think I'll be seeing this. So moving on, the next kind of big releases are Friday, January 15th. You're looking at 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, I think.
I want to see this so bad.
This looks good. It's got
John Krasinski looking like a badass motherfucker.
He does look like a badass. But the great thing about this is one of like the Green Zone, you know what I mean? Like one of those low key, Black Ops type movies. They're always, well, not always, but very often good. My only hesitation is that it's Michael Bay, and he's known for screwing up an otherwise well-written movie.
I mean, just based on what I've seen in the trailers, this looks pretty solid.
It doesn't look gratuitous.
I think John Krasinski also has a hand in producing this too, so I'm sure he's
John
like, whoa.
Krasinski is a genius.
Yeah, and I mean, he's made some other good movies. He made a movie with Matt Damon too, which was a really great movie. So I mean, the guy knows how to like handle that. I'm sure he's got the ability to go, Michael Bay, hey, don't blow that up.
How about we just
don't blow it up?
One less explosion. Just one.
just one. It looks very interesting. It's probably something that I'll do on iTunes. It's probably something I'll get once it's out on Redbox or something. But it looks cool to see these people outside of the roles that you kind of know them from and put them in something else. Show some range.
Absolutely. Also, in that exact day, Friday, January 15th, if shit blowing up is not your thing, you can go see Ride Along 2, starring Kevin Hart and Ice Cube. I will not go see it, but you can go see it. That will be fun for you.
I'm sure something blows up in this movie too.
No, most certainly something blows up in this movie, but it is then followed by Kevin Hart screaming and being annoying. So,
in other news of movies that are completely ridiculous, the trailer for The Fifth Wave was on before Star Wars, and I thought, this is an awful looking movie.
It comes out January 22nd, and I'm glad you brought it up because it was the next movie on my list. It's another one of those based on the young adult novels, best-selling series stuff. So it's going to try to be Hunger Games, is what it is.
It looks like War of the Worlds.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about an alien invasion and Hit Girl, who doesn't know how to fight anymore in this movie, trying to save her younger brother. You know what? I think it's going to do well enough. I really do. Or, I mean, it could go the way of I Am Number 4 and Tank.
That's what I'm thinking. This reminds me of I Am Number 4 more than anything, where it's
but
like,
the
it's got
difference
a
is
really good
Yeah, but
idea.
I liked I Am Number 4.
I know,
It was
I know.
really good. I Am Number 4 was really good and
I
needs
know.
a sequel.
But
and
it's
it
not
won't
going to
get
happen. No.
Moving on. That same day, January 22nd, while all of the preteens will be seeing The Fifth Wave, I will be seeing Dirty Grandpa with Robert De Niro and Zac Efron. I'm pretty sure I showed you this trailer. Did you guys see this trailer?
I've seen the Red Band trailer. It looks funny.
It looks funny, and Aubrey Plaza's in it, who we all love from Parks and Rec, and I think she's
Zac
hilarious.
Efron's comedic delivery is decent. His timing's all right.
He's getting better. I think Neighbors was like the first performance. So I was like, hey, you're starting to get that.
If you haven't seen that awkward moment, you should see that.
Yes, that's another really good movie too.
I have not
Michael B.
seen
Jordan's
that
in that
awkward
movie, isn't he?
Yeah, you should see that awkward moment. That's Zac Efron.
And Michael B.
I don't know what casting agent put this together, but whoever they are, I will watch any movie you put together. This looks amazing. You do not think these people together would make a good movie, and it looks so good.
What are you talking about?
Dirty Grandpa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't De Niro? De Niro's hilarious.
Right. But why
And
would you put
Zac-
De Niro and
Zac-
Zac Efron together? Like, who
Well,
got
De Niro
drunk and
needs
thought about that?
De Niro needs a grandson who can do slapstick and dirty comedy, and Zac Efron's shown a few times that he can't. Zac Efron was in a movie with two, let's say, better actors in Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan, and he was the standout.
Yep.
So I think this should do wonders for his career. At least hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so.
He finally will shed that High School Musical shame.
17 again, and that whole, you know what I mean?
God, that movie was terrible.
Right. But it shouldn't have been.
But
Right,
man,
It was
you
the male
can't just-
Freaky Friday, and it just didn't work.
He just wasn't ready for it yet.
Right,
I
yeah.
think the past couple roles he's had were good.
Mhm.
I think this one should be. This is, I think, maybe the best movie,
Of the month.
best looking movie of the month.
I would give you that. That's the one I'm the most excited for.
so in the final two movies I have, both get released January 29th. First one is Kung Fu Panda
Awesome.
3, which,
Awesome.
yeah, Jack Black back as Po and the entire cast back. But hey, I don't want to spend too much time on it because if you haven't seen the first two, you're probably not going to see the third one. But you should see the first two. They're fantastic. They're wonderful, great family films.
They really are. They're funny and they're heartwarming. They're cool. Did Angelina Jolie and Lucy? Everybody came back.
Yeah, last time I checked, they were all
Wow.
on the
Seth
roster.
Rogen, Jackie Chan. It's a good ensemble cast.
That's actually pretty impressive.
And
that
you're
you get them back
adding
together.
to this one, you're adding J.K. Simmons, I think, is in this one as the villain.
All right.
Oh, that's great.
I'm gonna double check it for you just in case I'm just
Did you
talking
just
crazy
convince
talk.
me to go see Kung Fu Panda 3?
No,
That's-
Bryan Cranston.
I'm sorry,
Oh, and-
Brian
Cranston.
And Bryan Cranston, J.K. Simmons,
Yep.
Kate Hudson.
You're
Yep.
adding three
All right.
huge names
just-
to an already great cast.
You just
So-
made me go see Kung Fu Panda 3.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston plays Jack Black's father or Poe's father in this movie,
Right.
and he's going to be hilarious because he's Bryan Cranston, and the guy, anything the guy does is fantastic. And J.K. Simmons, who I know and love as J. Jonah Jameson, is going to be the villain. So this should be a lot of fun.
No, not to mention he plays an amazing villain. I don't know if anybody saw.
Yes.
I can't. Why
Whiplash.
can't I?
Whiplash.
Whiplash.
Jesus.
Whiplash. Amazing movie. He won Best Supporting Actor for it.
Unbelievable.
Great
so
fucking movie.
I'm bought in. I'm bought into Kung Fu Panda 3.
That's crazy. You just convinced me to go see Kung Fu Panda 3.
Well, you should watch the first two first.
I've already seen the first two.
Well, then there you
thought
go.
Anyway.
And that same day is Jane Got a Gun, starring Natalie Portman and Ewan McGregor.
Does she use it to blow her head off?
I don't know if she uses it to blow her head off. I'm pretty sure she's going to kill a couple other people before that happens, though. Hey, it looks like a really, if you're into old westerns, this seems like a really kind of fun movie. She is caring for her sick husband, and these people are trying to come to kill them. and she's the only one to defend them. So she decides to just fucking go and kill people. I mean, it looks like a lot of fun. That's
you know
just me.
when studios make two movies
Yeah.
that are, two opposite studios make movies that are so alike, and you're just like, well, that's obviously a response to this movie. Is this
Don't
their
say
response
Hateful
to the Hateful Eight? Like,
No,
is that what
don't
they're
It's
say
not
trying to do?
possible. It's not possible.
No, it's not. It's not.
Like,
It's
what are
really
they-
not. No, don't be dumb. Stop being dumb.
I'm not,
CJ.
I haven't watched the trailer. I'm sorry. Your
And
description
the
is all I know.
problem, the problem that I have with this is that it kind of reminds me, just looking at the movie poster, reminds me of Bad Girls. You know,
Yeah.
starring like Andy McDowell and Drew Barrymore. Like, it just seems bad.
I disagree. I think
Okay.
Well, and you know what? It's all predicated on the fact that I do enjoy Natalie Portman and nearly everything she's done. So I'm willing to give it a chance because I like her a lot, and I also like Ewan McGregor a lot.
I don't think I've liked her since The Professional.
Really? Come on,
She has
man.
the Kristen Stewart problem where she just puts out her bottom jaw, and that's how she acts. It
And
bothers
I
the shit
really
out of
haven't
me.
liked Ewan McGregor since Train Spotting. So
Okay, I know we don't like to talk about the prequels, but you're completely discounting all three prequels for the two of them.
yeah, I
Yes.
thought they were very poorly acted.
Yeah, that wasn't.
I don't think
exactly
that's
the-
their fault. You can blame George Lucas for that.
But
No,
we're not
they're-
going to
no,
say,
they-
hey, we're not going to defend them because of the prequels. I mean, that's what
They
you
did
just asked us to do. It's not happening.
They did a poor job acting.
They got a poor script and they did a poor job acting. Ergo,
Okay.
they weren't good actors in the movie.
All right, fine. I tend to disagree. I think Natalie Portman, just in the Thor movies, she's delightful.
Have you seen Train Spotting?
That I can only watch that movie once. I've seen it once, and then
A,
I
I love
I
that
fought
movie.
the
B,
urge to jump off a building because I felt so
Could you-
horrible about
I mean,
life.
could you put his performance in any other movie next to Train Spotting?
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not saying that like he's done anything better since Train Spotting, but I think he's done some solid stuff and some good work.
I have no idea what Train Spotting is. Just so there's a listener out there
Oh
going,
my
what the hell are they
God.
talking about? I feel you. I don't know either. But they're very passionate about it, so it must be good. Okay?
Listen, it's
Let's go to
okay.
Netflix.
Maybe, you know what?
Let's go
Big
to Netflix
Fish.
together and let's go
Big
watch it. We'll
Fish.
come back next
I'll
week.
give him Big Fish as well. Big Fish.
Big Fish.
Fish.
Yes.
There you go.
Big Fish.
He's great in Big
Good
Fish.
movie.
So anyway, that wraps up January movies. It's kind of a light month, as it should be because it's January, but some hidden gems in there. I definitely am going to go see Kung Fu Panda, most definitely this month.
Now, the important thing to note is that these movies in January are, not eligible for the Academy Awards? Is that correct?
I don't believe they are, which is why I think they had a limited release of The Revenant last week,
Just so it could count.
just so we could squeeze in Oscar to get Leo to get
Just so
snubbed
Leo
by
can
the
be
Oscars
disappointed
again.
and lose again.
Who are the other nominees for that?
We
They
don't know
haven't-
yet.
They
We don't
haven't
know yet?
released.
No.
I'm not an award
They're doing the
guy.
Golden Globe run right now. After that's all done, they'll announce nominees for the Oscars.
Yeah.
More importantly, Leo will get snubbed again. The Bear will win an Oscar. I saw
He
a
actually,
meme for that.
after he gets snubbed, he may get snuffed.
I think he may just kill himself if he doesn't win this Oscar this year.
Let's hope not. He's a wonderful
I
actor.
doubt that. I'm pretty sure he has a pretty amazing life.
Yeah. Listen, Leonardo DiCaprio's doing okay for himself.
At the end of the day, he's permanently in that Gatsby pose while he's toasting. That's how he wakes up in the morning, toasting. Or like the Monsieur Candy with the cigarette holder in his mouth, turning around like he's intrigued. That's
Yes. That's
As long as he's
great.
not in Gilbert Grape mode, that's okay with me.
Why you gotta go way back? Really?
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. By the way, good movie. All right. Don't.
No,
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Nope.
veto that.
I liked it. Maybe it's because I haven't seen it in 13 years. Maybe a little dusty in my old noggin here.
Dusty Noggin.
Anyway.
I mean, that's like me saying, you know what Leonardo DiCaprio was wonderful in?
So listen.
Growing Pains.
Here's the truth. We may talk about January movies, okay? But the only thing I'm really caring about right now is when the fuck is Deadpool coming?
February
I'm
12th.
just waiting for Deadpool. That's what January movie month should be called. January movies waiting for Deadpool. That's all.
January
it is.
movies countdown to Deadpool.
There's quite a few things coming up shortly. Like we got some stuff coming up.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about this. 2016 is going to be a pretty big year for the nerd. We're gonna have a lot to talk about. This podcast
Brian,
is gonna be very busy.
We have 8 comic book movies this year. Is that right?
That sounds about right. I didn't count them before
I think
coming
it's
on
8.
here.
I think it's 8, and that's phenomenal. Like the most comic book movies we've ever had in 1 year is what, 3 or 4, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Deadpool is February 12th, and we haven't talked about it since they dropped the new Red Band trailer on Christmas Day. So can we talk about that real quick? Because I was amazed.
I've watched that trailer every day since Christmas.
Yeah, I believe it. I have
Probably the
done
best
very
Christmas
close.
gift besides Star Wars. It was pretty awesome.
Well, like I watched the 12 Days of Deadpool leading up to it, and
Yeah.
then I watched the new Red Band trailer, and I've watched it every day. I've shared it with people who I probably shouldn't have shared it with.
Hey, 8-year-old boy, watch this Red Band trailer.
Yeah.
He says the F word like 6 times.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sister.
But it's an amazing looking movie with a great amount of hype and seemingly a good story.
There was a funny bit that happened at work today. Brian and I are both leaving. We're just trying to get our shit together and get the hell out of there. And Brian is putting on a Deadpool hat. He has a Deadpool beanie. And I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait for this movie. And this coworker passes us and she's like, who are you talking about? What movie? We're like, oh, Deadpool. She's like, I don't know what that is.
You will February 12th, I said.
Yeah. And she's like, why? Who's the hunk who's going to be in that movie? We're like, Ryan Reynolds. She's like, oh, all right. I'm definitely going to see that movie.
Neglecting to mention that he does not look like his Ryan Reynolds self in this movie.
For a little bit, he does. And then he looks like an avocado had sex with an older avocado.
Right.
The topical,
That's what he looks like.
topical graphical
Look
math
like
of
the
Utah.
inside of other people's assholes.
Exactly.
So good.
Um,
So listen, I don't want to talk Deadpool for too long. The trailer is on our website. It's probably one of the highlights of 2016. But besides Deadpool, what is the thing that you're looking forward to the most? Doesn't necessarily have to be movies for this
Daredevil.
coming year.
Daredevil just dropped their teaser trailer for season 2. It premieres March 18th. I am so excited for this. It's not even funny. I was getting my inspection done and I just watched the trailer like 16 times.
which is really just clips from last season.
Yeah,
like
it's just clips and
nothing
voiceovers,
new.
but I don't
There's
care.
nothing new in there.
Don't
it's
care.
Just a teaser.
Don't care. The last audio bit is from season 2. I know that much. But that's it. Everything else is from season 1.
Is this what I sound like sometimes? I'm just curious. I'm
do you
just
mean?
really excited about something that we've already seen a whole bunch of times. Is this what I sound like sometimes? I'm sorry.
This is what you sound like all the time, CJ.
Well, I apologize to you, the listener, that you've put up with me for 38 episodes.
I will say this. The thing that I'm most excited for right now, and this could change, but right now, April 1st starts the final season of Banshee on Cinemax, and I am more excited for that. Here's
You've
CJ,
been
here's
talking.
the
No,
thing.
you've been talking about the show, and I know nothing about it. Can you please
Yeah.
tell me why I need to watch this show? And Brian, just tune out because you're never going to watch it because you're
It's-
that guy.
So it's like it's on par with all of the other sort of pay channel shows where you have the formula, right? You have storyline, intrigue, mystery, fighty, sexy, shooty, right? But the gist of it is after 15 years in prison, this guy gets out and he's looking for his ex-lover, also his partner who made off with $10 million worth of diamonds, locates her in the town of Banshee, Pennsylvania, which doesn't exist. And while he's going to find her, stumbles upon a bad situation where the new sheriff of Banshee, who's going to be sworn in 2 days, gets murdered. He assumes the identity of this sheriff. He's a career criminal with a very mysterious background. The whole series, you don't know his name.
Okay.
And it's just great action. It's faces that you'd recognize. It's a recognizable cast. And it's captivating because of the mystery and the big bad and the backstory. It's very good.
Would you put it up there with shows like Sons of Anarchy and things like that you've loved a lot?
Oh, absolutely. I'd put it up there with. I look forward to this the same way I do Game of Thrones.
Okay, it's
So
Banshee, and it's on what network?
Banshee, it's on Cinemax, so you can watch every episode on Max Go. If you have HBO, you have a Max Go subscription as well. So I would tell you to check that out.
What nights does it air?
Fridays.
Fridays?
Does it? I have no idea.
That's-
I don't.
That's
Josh
what
just
the
streams. He
IMDb's
doesn't.
tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I'm most excited for right now, and then there's obviously what was just announced, and I don't think it's going to be 2016, but HBO announced that Deadwood will return.
Ooh.
Oh. Got reason?
I believe a movie. I don't know
Got reason to
anything
finish.
more than that, but I read it. The post went up last night on the intraweb.
All right. My things that I'm looking forward to. I have two things that I'm looking forward to. One is just so we don't ever have to talk about it ever again. I just want to see this Batman versus Superman movie and get this over with. I just want to know if I was an idiot or if I was right, and that's it.
Let's get this out of the way right now. You're never
You
right.
are an idiot. Well, you are an idiot,
And you
but
are an
may
idiot.
also be right.
But I may also be right, so at least he can be an idiot who can.
There are quite a
Help
few
yourself.
new Netflix series as well, and I think we'll talk about them more as they come. But for anybody listening, for those of you who are fans of binge watching series, obviously Daredevil. You have a new series coming out called The Get Down. Sort of centers around the early hip hop era, Grandmaster Flash type stuff, and then you have The Crown, which centers around the rise to power of Elizabeth II, and also has Matt Smith as Philip, Duke of York. There.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I
But
saw.
you didn't watch any of the trailers I sent.
I saw both. I watched them. I watched them all, Josh. And I'll
I
tell you
didn't,
what,
I'm sorry.
I had no desire to see any of this stuff. The thing that got me interested in The Get Down was it is a show by Baz Luhrmann, who directed Moulin Rouge. He directed the newest version of Great Gatsby with Leonardo DiCaprio. And I really like his stuff. So that's something I might definitely check out just for that. And The Crown, I will probably check out just to watch Matt Smith. But
Right.
I was totally impressed with both of those. And yeah, I was really, again, I just am really excited for Daredevil. Fuller House comes out in February.
That's
For
right,
anybody
yeah.
who wants to feel that 90s nostalgia, I'm excited for that, to be honest. I might actually binge watch that. In the realm of movies, dude, Captain America. I'm
Yeah.
so excited for that movie too. We've been teased that we might see a little bit of the Spider-Man that's going to show up in this movie
Just
sometime
want
this
that.
month.
That's all I want.
But yeah, I'm super excited for that. And Doctor Strange comes out in November, which is going to be amazing. Which they just released. I don't know if you guys saw the photos of Bender Slip Cumberbund as Doctor
Yep.
Strange. He looks fantastic. And he looks exactly like the comic book, which was what was really worrying me, is that they'd change it to all black leather or some crappy Matrix crap like that. But he looks great. I'm excited for this movie.
I'll say non-movie related too. I'm really excited, and again, this is just my nerdum, so sorry, y'all. Really excited to see what Apple and Google are going to be doing this year to drive the phone market, because we use that every single day, and it's just going to be really exciting technology. So before we get too far away from the topics of the best of 2015, because we are excited for a lot of things coming down in 2016, take the moment, go to thatkindofnerd.com, because there's some other topics that we didn't talk about. One of them is, of course, top TV from 2015. We're not going to go into it here. There's a great article written about that. And then we also had my friend and colleague Jared Maero, who wrote the top comics of 2015. And I do want to give him a shout out. He runs a comic book shop. The guy followed his dream, and he made his own, his own vision of having a comic book shop a reality. It's firsteditioncomics.com, and that was with a number 1 ST. So 1ST Edition Comics. Check it out. He's based out of Georgia, but he's got an online store, so help support a fellow nerd and go check that out. But he wrote our comics article. So there's more to see than just movies. There's a lot more to talk about, so we definitely want to give you the opportunity to get some other topics into your head. Okay, so now comes the obligatory warning again, and we're not going to do this for too much longer in the sense of every week. If you haven't seen Star Wars,
Wait. No.
No.
Statute of limitations passed.
And,
Okay.
and first of all, this movie has just broken the biggest domestic opening of ever.
It's been out for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. If you haven't seen it, you are likely in a coma.
I care about you. Spoiler alert. Okay, just between you and I.
If you haven't seen Star Wars, shut off the podcast and don't ever listen again.
Oh. Anyway, so
Because I don't like you.
So yes, and that is the first off. The big news is highest grossing domestic movie of all time.
Of all time, it beat out Avatar. Now, domestic, we're talking North America. Does not. I'm just saying, people don't understand some of the lingo. It's not worldwide. It just opened in China today.
It doesn't include America's Hat up there.
It does not include America's Hat, and it just opened in China today. So it's gonna make even more
1 billion
money.
people just went to the theater.
Yep, exactly. So it's just gonna keep, but it's officially broken at least all of the records. If there's a record, it has broken it. So anyway, moving on.
So George Lucas came out and decided that he wanted to talk about Star Wars and the way that he was treated with Disney. And I'm sure you've read about this in a couple places because some of the language that he chose was beyond poor and shitty tasting. First off, the guy
White slavers is what he
white
said.
slavers. Yep, that's crazy talk.
That's what he said.
The guy's fucking nuts. Listen, I don't know how you get $4 billion to sell your franchise and then come up to the press and be like, they didn't like my ideas and they wouldn't do them. Isn't that that's sad? God damn you, Disney! Like what the fuck,
I'm
dude?
gonna tell you what it is right now. Are you ready? Because I'm about
Yes.
to drop a knowledge bomb. So shield yourself. He is so butthurt over the fact that this movie has done everything better than anything he has ever done since 1986. Every time he has touched this franchise, i.e. the prequels and the special editions, his fans have not approved. He is systematically ruined his own franchise, and this movie has brought it back from the dead, and he's not happy about it.
Well, let's hold on. Let's just examine a couple things, and I'm not going to defend George Lucas, but I am going to say that his point was valid, right? He said, I didn't feel like they did anything really all that original, and I thought, I would have liked to have taken it a different direction. Now, what he did with the prequels, and you can bash them all you want. I still like them. I think that the tone of the first three movies had, was again a tone of hope, right? A New Hope, and then you're crushed with The Empire Strikes Back, and then Return of the Jedi, hope again. The first three, they weren't about that. That was, if you remember A New Hope, the opening line in the beginning is it was a time of great despair.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole premise of the first three movies was the demise of the Jedi and the downward spiral of the galaxy as everyone knew it into despair. So it had to be that way. Now, having said that, I think what everybody, and I've said this, it's well documented, I've said it to you too, I think what everybody needed was a return to that first, that feeling of hope. And that's absolutely what was done with this movie. I don't know who had all the creative direction, but whoever made these decisions, brilliant.
Absolutely. Well, and I think I said this to you, Josh, too. It seems like, not even just as the Star Wars franchise in general, as movies and moviegoers in general, like people have forgotten what the movies are all about sometimes.
Yep.
It's not about, I have to go see this depressing movie that makes me really think about my life, or I need to see things that mirror my real life. We all live real life. It sucks most of the time. And the movies are our escape from that. And that's what the original Star Wars did in the 70s, was bring that escapism and this entire world that you can get immersed into. And that's what this movie did too. It's why it's doing so well. And it's why every Marvel movie does so well too, because whatever you want to say about Ant-Man and certain Marvel movies, they're generally a very uplifting, hopeful tone.
Right.
And they're fun. And people don't
Except
have
for
fun.
all the destruction and death.
Right. But
Yeah,
people don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
fun at the movies anymore. And it's a shame. And that's what this movie did for me and for obviously enough to garner $760 million domestically. And I think George Lucas has just got a stick in his craw that he's jealous that it wasn't his. That's just my
He's
opinion.
jealous with his $4 billion.
Right, like I mean, the man got paid.
That's the thing where I'm thinking about. Listen, with $4 billion, just go make your own at home and don't show anybody. Like no one will ever know.
Listen, George.
have your own movie.
You can use all the CGI you want for your own private movie.
yes,
it's
do
fine.
your own thing.
I'm sure you have a green screen.
Like
room.
him and like Lord Helmet with his action figures in a room by himself, right? Just recreating. Just oh Finn, don't say that. Oh, you don't like me. Just the
Traitor. Like
right. Yeah, traitor. Good.
But yeah, I just feel like this is coming from a place of, I mean, jealousy is the only word I can really use to describe it. So, because this movie is getting
Well, jealousy, if I'm not mistaken, leads to anger, and
It
anger
does.
leads to
George is
hate.
on his way to the dark
Hate
side.
leads to fear.
He needs to center himself.
He was
and,
Jar Jar Binks for the prequels, and it only makes sense now that he turns to a Sith.
He should
the
stretch
new
out
ones.
with his feelings.
Listen, I'm just saying, George, you need to center yourself and commune with Yoda and Qui-Gon, their spirits for a little bit, and realize that, listen, you sold your baby, it's gone, and somebody did it and did it really well. Just deal with it.
Look, I'm not sure that anybody has sold anything in the history of the world for $4 billion. I mean,
True story.
I can't think of another reported sale of a trademark.
Well,
Right.
maybe
Because
the
even
Louisiana
Beats,
scale.
even Beats was 3 million. I'm sorry, 3 billion.
If the Louisiana Purchase adjusts for inflation, that might be like $4 billion.
Really?
No, but
really?
think about no, seriously, CJ, think of it on that scale. Like, think of,
I get it. The fact that he
Think
could
of-
sit
think
no,
of
hold on.
somebody
The
going-
fact that Brian could sit there and say the Louisiana Purchase and Judge of Inflation probably beats it. Seriously, you've just got that
CJ,
statistic ready to go in your head.
Think you're like, hey man,
Listen,
I have this. You know what I have? I have this plastic cartridge video game.
You're talking about my Battletoads? All right.
Yeah, I have this plastic cartridge video game. It's super valuable. And somebody's like, you know what? I'll give you $4 billion for that, right? And just the scale of what this franchise is worth. They paid $4 billion.
Yeah. And they've made it back.
And they
already.
just made $1 billion back.
Right.
just
Just in
now.
tickets. But just in box office.
In 3 weeks at the box office.
Right. I mean, can you
$1
imagine?
billion.
Every
You
single
can
time.
actually pre-order it already too.
Yeah,
I saw that,
that's
by
the
way.
other-
I have. It's done. It's pre-ordered.
And so Rogue One, I think, is the other movie that I'm the most anticipating for
December
2016.
2016. Yeah.
That's not
Really-
going to make $700
that-
million.
No, but it's
That's
still
right
gonna
there.
be
That's the
good.
question: is how much of a bump does The Force Awakens give to Rogue One?
Oh, it gives it a big bump, but I kind of have a feeling the movie is going to pale in comparison.
And then the question is anyone who's involved with that when it comes to the movie making process? Because I did read the fact that J.J. Abrams read the script for the next movie and is already upset that he's not directing.
Yeah, but
I think
he's
I've
not
said that
referring
before.
That's
to
episode
Rogue
8,
One.
though.
He's referring to episode
Right.
8.
Oh, episode
So-
8, yes.
You have a lot of actually notable people in Rogue One. There's a pretty solid cast in it. Felicity Jones, Alan Tudyk, Mads Mikkelsen,
We've
who
seen
is
him in
Hannibal.
Casino Royale.
Casino Royale. Forrest Whitaker's in this movie. It's got a solid cast. It's going to be a good movie. Obviously set in the Star Wars universe. It's the story about the team who got the plans for the second Death Star. So it's canon.
You should basically expect all these people to
They
die.
will all die
This
because
movie isn't going to be a feel-good story.
No.
Everybody's going to die.
If
They
you were
will
upset when
definitely
Han
die.
Solo died,
Only
everybody else
like,
is going to die in this movie.
only the plans make it out.
Yep. That's it. They're probably in a droid somewhere and they make it out. But
Right.
it's good. Hey, I think it's going to be great.
good.
I don't think it's going to make Force Awakens money. I think, diehard Star Wars people, like maybe somebody sitting in this chat right now, will be seeing it. And that's really about it. But it's gonna. I'm excited for that movie as well, CJ. I think it's going to be great.
Well, we shall see. 2016 is upon us and unlimited possibilities. But I can tell you what, something that I definitely know I want to make part of this show is I want to hear some more fans, and I want to hear from more of you. And that being said, we actually do have a listener who did leave a message for us, and I want to take a minute to go ahead and play it because we didn't get to do it last week, and he wanted to share his thoughts about Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Okay, so this is Khalid, and I've been watching your podcast, and I can't even finish it because I have to let you guys know this. First off, I'm looking at what Josh said, and I think a few of the things he said about Finn are absolutely correct. Like, he absolutely has some use of the Force. He absolutely has to. When Kylo talks about the Force Awakens, that's before he meets the girl. That's before the girl has any reason for it to awaken. So I really think he was talking about Finn, not her. And Mara Jade is who Luke was with and had a child. So I'm going to give you my opinion, then I'm going to watch the rest of it, and I'll probably call you back. So I think Finn is Luke's child. I think Rey is Han Solo's child. And that's where I am right now. I absolutely love everything you guys have set up to this point. I'm going to watch the rest, and then I'll give a call back. All right, bye.
So some actually really great insight and a lot of things I had never considered. Josh, you made the wide eyes face when he got towards the end and he's wrapping up his statement. What do you got?
Well, I guess the crazy thing is that, coming from a stormtrooper, I just never considered it. And wow, well, how did I miss that? Usually when it comes to crazy theories, I'm at the head of the pack, but dude, that was some solid, that's some solid crazy ass fan theory right there.
And
that's some shit I can get behind immediately.
And he's got the great point that and I didn't consider it until I listened to this message. The fact when he says there's been an awakening, do you feel it? You're right. We haven't seen Rey awaken with the Force yet. We've seen Finn become self-aware and break his conditioning from the Stormtrooper stuff. So I mean, really good insight. I'm actually really, really impressed, Khalid. What about you, Brian?
Do you have like a soundboard where you can play the glass shattering, like the thing?
I'm sure I can add it.
I gotta mill that over. I don't know. Like my gut is like, I don't know about that, but it would be pretty awesome if that were the case. I'd actually be behind
I'm gonna
that.
say I wouldn't be disappointed one iota if that's how that went down.
No, I wouldn't be disappointed at all. I don't know. He obviously knows more about the expanded universe than I do. I have no idea about Luke's wife or girlfriend or whatever the heck she is. So I mean, I don't know. It's possible. Yeah. Well, you know what? I gotta go see it a fourth time now and see if I can pick that up because I definitely want to check that out.
So that right there, guys, is what we want. That's an amazing insight. Some things that are definitely going to make us think. It's going to cause Brian to go see a movie.
We don't just want insight into Star Wars. If you want to call us and tell us how wonderful I am, you absolutely can. That is allowed. If you want invites to the Palatial Matter with the cats, that's allowed as well. But it's
and then go shop for Apple
serve.
Products the next morning.
We can shop for Apple products the next morning. But more importantly, hey, it's filling up for 2016. I got a book and it's almost full. So call in, let me know.
Well, fans, we've kept you long enough, and we want the opportunity to stop listening to the three of us and to listen to you. So why don't you go ahead, go to thatkindofnerd.com, check out some of the amazing articles that are floating around, especially for our comics and Top for TV, because we didn't talk about them. We want to know what you think. Same thing with movies. What do you think about our top list? Did we leave something out? Did we miss something? Tell us. You can also get us at Twitter at thatkindofnerd and Facebook.com/thatkindofnerd. Listen, we're pretty much on every social media site as That Kind of Nerd, I think with the exception of Instagram, where we're real That Kind of Nerd. I don't know, we don't do Instagram very much. Anywho, but guys, get your voice on the show, share your thoughts, your opinions, your insights, your feedback is important. It's 373-4119. And if I can, I'd like you to take a quick minute, because you're done walking around the neighborhood or you just got to work. Go to iTunes, go to Stitcher, wherever you found us, and leave us a review. That stuff means so much to us. It can actually go ahead and help us get higher in the ratings and get more listeners and more fans so we can have better conversations. So we definitely want to thank everyone who's left a review for us on iTunes or Stitcher. Continue to do so. Thank you so much for making us your drive to work or walk around the neighborhood. And we will see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
The Louisiana Purchase was $15 million.
Oh, there you go.
And according to the Kindred.com, which is like it judges inflation over time, that would be worth about $330 million. So George Lucas beat him by about 10x.
Yeah, see? And that was a part of a country.
Right.
That's
George Lucas just sold a part of our hearts.
Yeah.